Welcome back for a WAF-tastic week in review. The WAF World Championships were this weekend, so we'll take a look at that. Michael Todd gets injured and has to pull out of his match with Prudnik. We might be seeing Devin as a replacement. We got some before and afters of Ermes, and the Armwrestling Whisperer gets out-whispered. Let's get into it. We'll kick things off with a pretty big controversy at the WAF Worlds this past weekend. Here we have the 85 kilogram finals, and it's between Oleg Zok on the left and Talget Oktaev on the right. Now, for those who don't know, Talget is one of the fastest arm wrestlers in the game and certainly the fastest presser. Here's a couple of his hits to give you an idea. Here he is with Krause, and I don't think Krause even knew what was coming, and then here he is again, just lightning fast. Now again, back to his match this past weekend in the finals against Oleg. Can you see the problem here? This is the setup, and when this was first posted, I was like, well, yeah, his shoulder's, way in front, but the refs are going to fix that before the start. So I'm watching, waiting for the ref to tap that shoulder. It never comes. So Talget basically gets to start in a press against Oleg and gets the win. And Oleg actually had just beat him the round before, so he needed this win. The winner was going to be the world champion. So thank you to Minhale for sharing this on the subreddit. I'm a moderator there, so if you're not yet signed up, come on over and join us. On the opposite end of the spectrum, our featured match this week is one of the longest matches of all time, a classic between a young Yevgeny Prudnik and Pascal Gerard. And we're in the strap, both go outside. Yevgeny almost gets Pascal's hand to go, but then loses his own, and then it turns into a dogfight. Now we're in this position for a little while, and then Yevgeny actually gets a little cheeky, gives Pascal quite a bit, but then commits to a flop press and actually almost gets the pin there. And now we're stuck in what looks like Jerry Caderet versus Michael Todd. Now this goes on for a long time until Pascal finally climbs high enough on the hand of Yevgeny and ekes out a pin there. The Jerry versus Michael Todd match from WAL 403 was about 6.5 minutes long, but you have to remember that those elbow pads are bigger, the rules are less strictly enforced, and of course running fouls, but I don't think there were any running fouls on that longest round of that super match. If anyone knows of a longer round, please share it in the comments. Back to WAF here for a second. Weasley shared this post on the subreddit of pretty much the exact opposite of what we saw with Talget. So we're in the setup here, and match over. Did you catch that? Let's watch it again. They're in a ref's grip, and on the left, she doesn't close her thumb well enough, which that's a foul in the ref's grip, not following the ref's commands. Winner. Speaking of WAF, I'm on the website here on the results page, and they haven't yet posted the 2022 official results, so we'll be keeping an eye out for that. On some lighter news, this was circulating Facebook and Reddit. It's a before and after with a very young Ermes Gasparini next to where he is now from some of his recent training footage, and it is ridiculous. I mean, Z's would be jealous. Here's another, and this is what it takes now if you want to be competitive in that super heavyweight division. I mean, you gotta bulk up, and it can't just be all fat. Next up, no, this isn't photoshopped. Devin Larratt stopped by John Brzezink's house for his Monday Night Live series where they go live together, and that is Sideways Engen in the bottom right. They even called him up to FaceTime while they were live, and it was just crazy. So if you're into those kind of long format talks, go check it out. As always, every video mentioned, the link will be in the description. Devin actually made some interesting comments during that live where he said he would consider another shot at #1 in the world, which of course means beating Levon, but it's too early to say anything for sure. He wants to get some other matches under his belt, and this actually stands in contrast to some statements he made a few months ago after his loss to Levon, where he said he was really done pursuing #1 in the open weight category. If you're wondering why there's this Inception screen going on right now, I actually did a whole video on this, which you can find in the description. We of course also got the news that Michael Todd has been injured. On his left side, he tore his supraspinatus and his subscapularis, and then on his right side, he tore, at least partially, his bicep tendon. So for that reason, he has to bow out of his match against Prudnik. And Devin is actually the front runner for a replacement right now. We should find out very soon if that match is going to happen. And Michael Todd, of course, saying, whatever happens, I want the winner. Okay, if you're not familiar with the Arm Wrestling Whisperer, he has an enormous social media following and does sort of man-on-the-street arm wrestling stuff. As the name would suggest, there's a lot of whispering going on, and we got the collab that nobody saw coming. Devin showed up.
That's it. Oh, that's all. I'm not here to finish it. There's only one thing. I'm here for you.
It goes on for a while, and I'll put the link in the description. Check it out if you want to see one of the more interesting arm wrestling videos you'll ever see. And finally, we have our meme of the week, the ultimate dichotomy. Get strong enough to compete in my weight class, lose weight. What's it gonna be? And that's gonna do it for this Arm Wrestling Week in Review. Again, this is where I compile important and interesting threads and posts throughout the week and go through them all here, and hopefully you find them interesting too. If you did, please remember to leave a like and subscribe. It helps a lot, and I will see you in the next one.